Welcome everyone to the Pentakill Season 4 end of season announcements. We are in the middle of week 9 looking at playoffs. I am IWB DepressionMain and Commissioner of the League here with one of my committee members, Shaw the Twin. What is up, Mr. the Twin?
How's it going, Said? We had a little bit of time to prep for this, but not much. So, I think it'll be, well, it should be spicy. It should be fun. I don't know how informative or revelatory it will be, but yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot to cover today, but also none of it is going to be anything that important. Everything here is going to be optional. We're going to talk about All Stars. We're going to talk about a special event that I designed for us. We're going to talk about some playoff shit. We're going to talk about current standings, all that good stuff. And we're going to bring up a whole bunch of bullshit stats that the two of us put together, and maybe have some guest stars on a little bit later.
Yeah, so I think the first things first. Actually, why don't we start out with the announcement? If you want to talk about the
Sure.
surprise end of the season event.
Yeah, so we get a whole lot of flack for being on the committee or being, members of the mod team. So I have designed a little event. We are the Pentakill League, so we are the five of us. I believe it's going to be the two of us, Richard Nixon, Invisa, and then Avion, one of our mods. We are going to be playing a few games against the community. We are going to be playing the Pentakill League band, and you guys can build your own teams to come and take us on. We're going to be playing somewhere between 3, 4, 5 matches on Friday next week. So week 10 Friday, I believe that is the 9th. And we'll be starting that around 8 EST is reasonable, I think. And we'll be going until somebody quits, cries, or dies. Uh,
Absolutely. It should be incredible.
Yeah, so I'll be making a formal announcement about all this tomorrow for everybody else. But anybody joining us here on the stream right now can go ahead and start DMing me your teams and when you guys want to play. But yeah, that is going to be the Take on the Pentakill League event. And that'll be Friday the 9th next week. And you guys can make your own teams. It doesn't have to be, the Piltover Firelights taking us on. It could be any 5 players that you want to bring on. We'll be playing the band. We won't have any bands against you guys, so you get to design your own team. See if you guys can take us on. I believe the quickest win against us will be getting a set of mystery skins for all the players.
I didn't know that. I
Yep.
guess we'll have to fund that with maybe some of our bribes that we've received. Sorry, with
There
that
was a
we
fund put
have
aside
certainly
for it already.
haven't. Okay, yeah, certainly haven't received
Yeah,
throughout the
we
season.
absolutely have not received any of the bribes that you guys have been sending us.
Really disappointed about that, actually.
Yep. Yeah, we got some comments. You got a fantastic beard going on, Mister At the Twin.
Oh, well, thank you, Nolan. I appreciate that. I'm sure you would look fantastic in a beard
I
if you could.
I think I could pull it off. I'm gonna have to wait a couple of weeks to get it up to that standard though.
I feel like Cedric. I feel like you're more of the evil goatee kind of
Yeah,
guy.
that's usually
Yeah.
what I settle with, but I'm shaven for now. Do you want to jump into All Stars? Do you want to do some playoff shit first?
Let's talk. Let's go playoffs.
You want to talk
I
playoffs
think that'll be
first?
pretty hype. I mean, we're gonna be leaning on you mostly for that one because you're the guy with the master sheet.
Sure. So I think we only have six. No, we only have 5 teams secured in a playoff so far. The Shadow Isles Horsemen, the Void Walkers, the Piltover Firelights, Shurima's Ascended, and the Ionian Blade Dancers. Everybody else is actually still scrabbling for those last 3 spots. The best case scenario, I won't say best case, like it looks like the teams that are going to get in are the Bilgewater Powder Monkeys and Zone Underground, and then there is a four-way tie for the eighth slot
Ooh.
right now, with a whole bunch of different tiebreaker scenarios going on. Uh, Bandle City Rockets have two shots at a win. Everybody else has one shot at a win for the aspects of Targon, Noxus Warlords, and Demacian Justice Shars. Uh, but that eighth slot is really up for grabs, and any of those teams can still shoot ahead of BPM or ZU. So, three slots, five teams in the running for it. It's gonna be it's more than five teams. That's seven teams in the running. Ixtal is the only team that is actually eliminated right now, so six teams in the running. Uh, yeah, that's gonna be absolutely nuts. And in all chat, all of your different teams are and all their different ways to get into playoffs is already listed for you. I've been editing them every single game that plays. Including the one that just happened. We just watched Piltover Firelights versus Aspects of Targon. It's all up to date. You guys can keep watching all that stuff. The standings will be updated in, I don't know, the next minute or so as I get to it, because I believe the last game is not currently in it. And now it is. There we go. So standings are all up to date.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't you telling me there is a world in which BPM makes
Mhm.
a run for second seed?
Yes, yes. So BPM currently not secured in playoffs has a shot at second seed, assuming that they win all three of their games. Uh, and actually, I think after the last game, Piltover Firelights uh, can't just eliminated that possibility because Voidwalkers would have had to beat Piltover to bring them both
Ah,
to seven. Or Piltover would have
gotcha.
had to be Voidwalkers to bring them both to seven wins and then win no other games. And all four of those teams would be stuck at 7-4. And then they would have had a four-way tiebreaker for second place, which would have been absolutely nuts. But
Yeah, and we would have. Shaw would also have to lose. Would have had to have lost our next game.
yeah, Sha would have had to
Yeah.
lose. Voidwalkers would have had to lose every single game. Piltover would have needed to lose every game except for the Voidwalkers game. But they had a shot at second place up until just now, and they're still not secured in
Okay.
playoffs. So now they
Okay.
can get to third, I think, overall, because they can still do tiebreaker stuff with two of the teams.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So pretty much everything is still up in the air. We have four teams still in the running for first. Nope, just three. We have three teams in the running for first because of weird tiebreaker things that are happening, and that's going to get shelled out as Shadow Isles takes on Voidwalkers. Voidwalkers takes on Piltover, and I believe Shadow Isles and Piltover have already hashed it out. But there's still a bunch of games to be played at the top, and there's still a bunch of games to be played at the bottom. So playoffs are anybody's game, really. You wanna hash out the rules for how we're gonna divvy up the first round of playoffs, how we're gonna go through them?
Yeah, let's go through it. I don't know if you have info on that pulled up. For me, it's up here, so hopefully we don't screw this up.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
correct you if you go off the
yeah,
rocker here.
but the way playoffs are going to work, it's the top 8 teams from the season. There may be potential tiebreakers that need to be played. I believe that's what we have the extra week for between end of season and playoffs. That would be next week to play any tiebreaker games. And playoffs are starting even from the semifinals all the way to the finals, best of threes, ideally played all in one night. I do not believe it has to happen in one night, though I would caution against it. The way scheduling tends to happen, definitely try and make it happen in one night. Plus, it's way more hype. Um, the top 4 seeds in seed order will get to pick their opponent uh, in the semifinals round or in the quarterfinals rounds, and
From the bottom
that
four seeds.
yeah, from the bottom four
Yeah, five
seeds.
through eight.
Yep, starting with first, then second, third, and then fourth is they play who they have left.
Yep.
The same will happen also in semis, where it will go based off of the seed that you started out the playoffs in.
Yep.
Whoever has the highest seed will get to pick their opponent, and then finals will be finals. The last 2 teams remaining.
for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna run us out for the next month or so after our regular season ends, which is the end of next week. So we'll have tiebreakers and all that settled by the first week of playoffs. Playoffs will play off. Yeah, every week is going to have one set of games. So quarterfinals will take a week, semifinals take a week, finals take a week, and then we'll be on break for an undetermined amount of time until we can get the next season moving. So that'll be the end of season 4.
Hmm. Well, with all that said, I'm not seeing any questions from chat. Feel free to ask questions, by the way, while we're going
Yeah,
through some of this stuff.
throw rocks at us. Tell us about the threats of impending violence.
I think the next thing on the list was to talk All Stars.
Yeah, so I have our list of all-stars. I believe everybody is confirmed. The all-star games will be played next Thursday, the 8th. There will be 3 games played there. Uh, one game will be the top 2 all-stars. The top 2 voted all-stars will be team captains. They'll pick teams, assign everybody roles. They'll hash it out like a normal game. Everybody will get to see the cool stuff that happens. One of the other games was going to be the fans are going to vote where everybody plays, every position. So the top 2 players that have voted for support will play support. Top 2 players that have voted for jungle will play jungle, etc., etc. And then the last game, I believe, was going to be the wheel decides. The wheel decides where everybody plays, so it'll be completely random, and you'll probably get to see somebody in an off position, and that'll probably be the quickest of the 3 games.
A Pentakill Classic, the
Yep.
picker wheel.
The wheel is just.
Not
Uh,
always.
but yeah, so the players, I will list them off from the bottom of the vote list to the top for our 10 All-Stars here. So we have at number 10, we actually have a tie for ninth place here. Our bottom 2 All-Stars are going to be the Ionian Blade Dancers Valerin and the Voidwalkers Sir Blackfish, our first 2 All-Stars. They each received an immense amount of votes, and as did just about everybody above them. But Valerian and Blackfish are going to be both hashing it out with us on the Rift. Next up, we have the aspects of Targon Captain Balthazar 666. Obviously, high diamond player, ready to rock and roll. Been performing all season. Played every role pretty much this season, and we're looking forward to seeing him on the Rift. Let's see, who else do we have? We have another tie here for looks like 6th overall. So the next 2 players are going to be the Aspects of Targon Ayath Saga, now the Ace Awakens. We just saw him performing. Probably, I would guess, the lowest elo all-star that we'll see. However, he's been performing in all his games against some pretty good players, so I wouldn't count him out. And then the Noxus Warlords captain, Tall Handsome Top, aka Goose. Can we get some honks in chat? Uh, so that is our first 5 all-stars. The Ace Awakens, Tall Hands of Top, Balthazar, Valerian, and Sir Blackfish. Going into the top 5, number 5 is actually a tie. For 4th overall, we have 2 more captains. Shadow Isles Horseman, Invisa, and then the Voidwalkers, 9 Rain. So Twin, your twin is going to be partaking in these games. Big votes both to those players. Moving to number 3, we have another captain, the Piltover Firelights. Hi, Ariana Lal, aka Kev. Big players here. Obviously, super high elo, really well-rounded players. These guys can play anywhere. Um, and we got some honks coming out in chat for Goose. Gotta love it. We are going into the top 2. Mr. the Twin, who do you predict in these last 2 slots here?
You know, I feel like it wouldn't be right
Hmm.
if the commissioner was voted into All Stars. I don't think you're all
Yeah,
that likable, so you're probably
that's
not going to
fair.
make the cut. So
That's completely reasonable.
I couldn't tell you who the last two are, but I do feel like it is probably not you.
That's reasonable. That's a good guess. However, immediately incorrect, as number two is IWB Depression Main. I was unfortunately voted very highly to be playing. I think it's mostly because people want to throw rocks at me once we're in the gladiatorial ring.
For sure,
Um,
for sure.
and, I probably got a couple of pity votes there too. Uh, and then I think it is only right that the top player, he was voted far more than any other player, actually receiving 80% of the total votes overall. SHA, the Twin. Congratulations, Twin. Welcome to the All Stars.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you, Cedric. And everyone who voted.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you everybody
On
for participating. Actually, we got a flood of votes this time, not just from our players, but from our spectators as well. And our sponsors, Twizzlers, actually voted on it as well, which was weird.
Yeah, I gave them a lot of money. So,
Oh, that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
man,
That explains all the votes.
yeah, for sure. There's no
Okay.
other no other explanation.
But yeah, those All Stars will be playing Thursday night. We'll be seeing them hit the Rift, and I do not say a bad word. I swear to God. Who gave I a mod? That's it. Get him out of here. But yeah, with those All Stars in mind, I think we can talk about some of the higher performing players, maybe some surprise picks uh, throughout the league here. We can transition nicely from players that maybe didn't get into All Stars that should have been some shout outs here.
Yeah, I do want to say we've got a chance for a couple individuals to join us here on the desk. I am hearing word from production
Hmm.
that we've got none other than DJ Steve and I think Nine Rain standing by to hop in on the cast.
I don't know that they'll let Niner out of the cage after dark, but if we can get
No,
him
no,
on
no.
here,
He'll stay in the
he'll still
cage.
be in
He'll
the
stay in
cage.
the
He'll still
cage.
be in the cage. Okay. But yeah, if security can bring those guys in, we'll get them integrated. We'll toss them right in, and we've obviously had some time to prep this. They won't have had any time. I don't think they've even been made aware that they're coming out of the desk yet.
No, I gave them a small warning that it could happen.
Hmm.
Let me shoot him a message.
Yeah, send security to go and fetch one of them at a time. I think we'll bring one of them on, see how they do. Make sure that they don't. Oh, geez. Security's bringing them both up the I can see them. I can see and they let Nine Rain out of the cage.
Oh
You
no,
said they
that's
wouldn't.
that is never good. Oh jeez.
Oh
Okay, here
my
they come.
goodness. All right. There's Steve, and here is Nine Rain. Gentlemen, you are welcome to apply the cameras to your beautiful faces. You are also welcome to not. Obviously, Steve is a dog. Nine Rain looks exactly like the twin.
I'm out of the cage, baby.
I
I don't have
told
a
them not
webcam. I'm
to.
working on that.
All right. Yeah. So everybody just imagine Steve
Guess I can get on my
as
phone.
just imagine Steve as a dog about yay big,
No, Teddy's way bigger than that. I'm gonna start
yay
this bitch
big.
off with absolute travesty that I'm not in the Pentakill League All Stars. I mean,
I
I've
agree.
outperformed
Okay.
everyone that I've played against.
I agree.
It's
100%.
just unbelievable. Also, John not getting in there with being a relative unknown, coming in, just
I will say,
playing out of his mind. And yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
yeah, I think this would be a good time to. I mean, we can have a brief discussion about some honorable mentions, and this is all just coming from our own kind of personal hot takes. Uh, Sed and I will try to be as objective as possible, but you
I will
two,
not. Don't.
okay,
I'm going to be as
great,
subjective as possible, in fact.
perfect, perfect. Well, yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. Some honorable mentions. I mean, honestly, Steve, I think you make a good case. Uh, Look, I think a lot of people don't know this about Shurima's Ascended, but DJ Steve, kind of the glue that holds us together, been sliding through drafts for a couple seasons now.
I voted for Steve. I'm gonna say it. I'm coming out. I voted for Steve.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I don't know
Thank
what
you.
everyone else was thinking.
That's a strike. I'm putting it on the clipboard.
Okay. Cool. I hope that it's like some weird British game where I have way more than 3.
No,
So-
you actually only get one, and you're going right back in the
Oh,
cage
okay.
after.
All right. All right. Back to the cage, baby.
I would like to point out Jer had an incredible with his incredible perceptive skills has just pointed out what I was suspected all along, said is indeed confirmed a Pokemon.
Yeah.
If you will all take a look at his camera, he is firmly placed within that Pokeball.
Holy shit.
I wasn't aware that they had
Dude.
couches. I wasn't aware they had couches and lamps, but
Oh yeah,
I
it's,
get-
it's
no,
way bigger on
no.
the inside.
The most concerning thing for me is that you're upside down.
Yeah, it kind of rolls around. So if you notice the walls start to
Is
shift,
that why your hair's standing up? Is
Yeah.
because it's actually gravity.
I am currently upside down. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait,
Everything
no
you see
way.
behind me is actually nailed and or glued together, and they aren't soft at all. Like those are hard
Okay.
surfaces. That's part of the
So if
ball.
we just see you start spinning rapidly,
It's fine.
you're midair and then you're about to be released out into
Yeah,
the
it's
wild.
go time at
I
that
will
point.
then have
Yeah.
to fight somebody on the other side of that, and you better hope I win.
What?
'Cause,
We're just gonna hear and then the stream's gonna end.
Duh, duh. Oh no, but yeah, that is a very real possibility.
Okay, so what I literally they just let me out of the cage. There's no Wi-Fi in there. Or are we talking?
Let's talk about
well-
surprise players that you think could have been runner-ups for All Stars.
I think. Wait, is Roosty an All-Star?
He is not.
It's
Roosty
not-
should have been an All-Star. Roosty's so good.
Mm.
Agreed.
I mean, the dude is just. I mean, everybody knows he's good. That's what. But you can't ban him out either. He's like one of the top damages every fucking game. Plays a bunch of scary picks. Has a great attitude. Plays
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
feel like-
Fortnite.
That's one of the that's one of the hard things about being on a team like Voidwalkers, where you guys have been really kind of smashing your way through most of your games, is you don't really get to see people like stand out in those close fights and close encounters. And when everyone's winning, it's hard to kind of see, a lot of the work that some people are doing on the team. So I think Roosty definitely a good shout out. Cockadoodle boom, baby.
Hey, can you ban a mod because Aya is wilding?
Actually, I'm
jeez.
gonna allow that. Rooster, in fact, can suck Aya's balls.
Huh.
Okay, so I'll give my 3 here that I think completely unbiased opinions. I've already given one, me obviously,
Okay,
and John. I think we just kind of go together on that one.
for sure.
Can I
Um,
hazard a guess at the next one?
I-
Is it
I
Fratty
think-
Natty Daddy?
no, that is
Oh,
not my next
Is it
one.
going to be the other member of Shaw, Richard Nixon?
No.
Okay, okay.
I think Cece has outperformed the fuck out of her rank.
Okay, okay.
I think
Build
she's
over
been scary up
Firelight
in the
Cecil,
top
I
lane,
get it.
and I also think that we saw like a bit of a difference in play from PF tonight, at least. From not having that like Street Fighter type characters that she plays, where it's just boom boom boom, things go on, she leaves, comes back in. I think she deserved to be on there, and then obviously my next one is, and this is, if you're paying attention, you'll notice that the Bilgewater Powder Monkeys are undefeated since Friday Night Daddy came in.
All right.
And
yeah,
Hey,
there it
Fratty
is.
Daddy Daddy. There
He
it
got
is.
all
Hell
of his
yeah.
main champs in the mid lane banned. He doesn't even play mid lane really. And then just put his dick on the table and said, "I'm playing Garen mid," and absolutely dominated.
I am gonna have to give him a yellow card for putting his dick on my table.
Well, he didn't put his balls on there too, so like
That's why it's not a
that'd
red
be
card.
red. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think Fratty's been kicking ass.
For sure.
And the team, I know what he's like in comms, so I know he's got a good attitude and is a bunch of fun. So, yeah, their teams all reported, having a really good time and coming together and be able to work together really well. So,
Yeah.
big fan of Fratty Natty Daddy.
Twin, did you have any additional
yeah, anybody other than Roosty?
shoutouts?
I mean, other
And
than
me. He
saying
voted
that
for
I
me.
think Steve should have made it.
2 votes for Steve. Heard.
Yeah, I mean, I could make a case for a lot more people.
Hmm.
But so I'll go ahead and leave it at those two.
What about you, Mr. the Twin? You got your objective opinion.
Are we going through our surprise players, or is this simply for all stars?
Let's go for both. You know what? Let's transition. We can go away from all stars just towards people that surprised you this season.
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, said, but uh, for me, one big surprise, Johnny Boy,
Yeah,
for
John
sure,
Frost River
John
Oh
for
Frost
yeah.
sure.
River. I mean, no one, he knew a handful of people in the league prior to joining, but for most of us, we didn't know what to expect. I remember sitting in comms with my captain, Richard Nixon, when we were talking through things as the draft was going on. We were like, I don't know who John Frost River is, but let's take him. Why not? It's a bit of a risk, and he has absolutely shown up. And like we could not be happier. Great, great mental, great sportsmanship, and honestly, like he has had some plays that have absolutely carried games. So big shout out to John Frost River.
Yeah, and let me add to that he could not be more of a joy to be around. Just
Seriously.
a great
Like,
guy.
if none of you in the league have played a game of League with John Frost River yet,
Go
hit
do it
him
now.
up.
Go do it
Yeah,
he
now. Fucking
became
right
now.
now.
he became my favorite player during draft.
Oh yeah.
During
And
the
I
draft
I
interview.
was like, okay, yeah, this guy's just the coolest student league, I think.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's on
For
my list
sure.
here too. So subjective and objective, John Frost River. Everybody should love him.
Absolutely.
uh,
Yep. And I think he's
Um,
also another thing is that this is kind of an anecdote here, but he is 5 hours behind us on he lives in like super West Canada, not to dox him. So like
I
he's
think
playing on
Canada's big enough. I don't
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna say
calculated, yes,
yeah, yeah,
got
yeah.
him.
So it's I mean, he's playing at like weird times and comes in always with a great attitude. Like I'd be pretty pissed off him in like the middle of dinner and be like, "Fuck, I have a Pentakill League game." So there's that too. I want to mention that.
Wow.
Yep.
Uh,
Well,
what else you
let's keep
got,
it
Mr. the
rolling.
Twin?
Developmental.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely a big surprise. Again, another one of those players. Aside from maybe whoever knew developmental before the league started, we didn't know what to expect. And wouldn't you know, comes on to the Shadow Isle Horseman, and absolutely, especially I'm thinking about his Oriana games. Really been popping off. Had a great season. I really want to see developmental in playoffs when there's a little bit more. Maybe you let Ori through game one and you go, shit, we shouldn't have done that. How are we gonna, change our play up? Maybe make some adjustments in draft and see if he can be stopped because he's had a great season.
Yeah. Alternatively, another mid laner that absolutely deserves some credit. Evil Bob. He's played, I think, 20, 25 Pentakill League games this season so far.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know who let that cat off his leash, but he has been showing up everywhere and wreaking havoc. Evil Bob, number one, like most games played by far.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it took me way too long to realize that that was a few cents. I had no idea. I was like, he's this evil Bob guy, just every sub ever.
Yeah, Evil Bob, previously a few pines, previously a few cents. He is also the player that in Pentakill League history has the single most deaths at 14 when he was playing Elise in Season 1.
Oh, for a single game?
Yep.
I remember that.
Hell yeah.
Oh my
Another one I
God.
kind of want to bring up, just because it kind of came out of nowhere, is Tofujin's Draven.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to that.
Yeah. The Tofu
But-
Moch bot lane.
Yeah, and
Quite
Moch as
strong.
well. Crazy. I mean, I'd never seen her play Draven, and it's looked very good. I don't know how to play Draven.
Yeah, especially since before this season, in my mind, Tofu was like a Jinx Kai'Sa player.
Jin,
Jin,
well.
Jinx and Jin, yeah.
yeah,
So a lot,
Yeah,
I mean,
Callista
long
every now
range
and then.
sniper kind of shit.
Yeah.
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 So that's been cool to see somebody kind of hit the lab, hit the hyperbolic time chamber and hyperbaric.
She's
We've
also
definitely-
getting jacked, so
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Kicking ass, Sujin.
Yeah,
This
we
stream brought to you by
definitely.
twitch.tv/Sujin.
I mean, we've definitely seen some other players experimenting with trying to broaden their champ pool, and it's not always as successful as Tofu has made it to be. I mean, we've all seen Aya play Yone, so sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that fucking play.
Yeah,
This
if
is
none of you have
incredible.
seen the clip from the most recent AOT game,
I have not.
you have to see it. It's the best
it is-
Pentakill clip in history.
It is one of the
that-
rougher ones.
That alone. And look, we're memeing on Aya because we all love him and he's honestly really good, so we can get away with it. But that you gotta see it. It's so perfect.
I thought my Flash W miss on Recon last season
That was
I
up there.
remember-
was just gonna be the #1 for a while.
I remember Steve
Wait,
doing that and just be
hey,
like, they better
hey-
not have fucking got that on camera. And then
Hey, said pull up the clip, bro.
Pull up the clip.
Oh yeah. Throw
I've
it
been
on
told to
there.
pull up the clip. All right, here we go.
is this gonna be on stream? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot better with music because there was.
It has. Oh.
Okay.
Oh no. Yeah, let's just catch that music right there real quick.
Oh no.
Oh, here he goes.
Right as the beat drops, manages to whiff all 4 of them.
Oh no.
Ugh. Ah, yeah, that's rough, buddy.
And
You know,
because the best part about it is that seconds before I was like, if Aya gets 2 kills here, he's gonna take over this fucking game.
Oh
They
my
put on the
God.
music, and then, man, I wanted that for him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I wanted him to get that.
That
And
would
I've
have
seen
had
him
way
hit those
different.
too.
That would have been
Oh, yeah.
way different playoff implications, I think, if he hit that.
Yeah, he's gonna be thinking about that while he's trying to sleep
For
tonight.
the rest of his life.
For the rest of his life, yeah. Aya's mental just went from roughly positive to roughly negative.
Yeah, if that happens to me, I'm taking a Lunesta and just hoping right after the game ends, I'm out like a light.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get FER tattooed on his bottom lip.
Speaking of Aya,
Free.
I think the Ace Awakens here is also on my subjective list. Obviously, with the one-trick rule gone, no Yasuo pretty much all season. He's expanded to Zed, to Fizz, to Yone, Gangplank, and we saw Lucian, we saw Vayne, we saw Kog'Maw this season. That's an amazing champion pool overhaul.
Yep. I think he's done a really good job. He's an assassin player. He likes playing that aggressive stuff. This is not an easy league to pull those picks off in. A lot of people picking a lot of tanks, playing defensively and working together as a team makes any of those picks way more risky. I mean, there's a reason you almost never see Fizz or Zed or, other, all-in champs like that in, tournaments or I don't know. I don't watch LCS, so I'm not gonna speak for them. But I haven't seen them in forever.
No, you're right.
So
it's very
rare. They've got some draft stuff to puzzle out, but he's added a lot to his champ pool. Obviously, just Yasuo, far cry from. I also don't know why anyone would do that to themselves. That's like the least fun champion to play 1,000 games on.
Quick question: did a single support player make it to All Stars?
Let me take a quick peek at the All-Stars. Do you count me as a support player?
No.
Absolutely.
Do you count Kev as a support player?
No. I mean, this season,
I
a
don't
main
think
support
so.
player.
Is that a no?
Then no.
All right, yeah. I mean, I guess same with the NFL. There's never any kickers in the All Star game or in the Pro Bowl. That's right. That makes sense.
Do you
I mean,
count
it is a
Invisa?
good point.
Invisa supports me emotionally. Does that count?
Oh,
No.
really? He just usually yells at me.
He's only got time for one of us, Steve, and I needed it this season. That's why I'm still depression main. Going forward, but yeah, no, we got top lane, jungle, mid lane, top lane, 80 carry, top lane.
Yeah, whatever.
Wait, 180 carry?
We got
With 0
Valerian.
supports?
No supports.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
180
Solo
carry, one
lane,
mid lane.
best lane, baby. Let's go.
180 carry, one mid lane, everybody else top jungle.
Well,
Interesting.
I will say it does. I do think the Pentakill League spotlight favors junglers because that's usually where the action is, and we're just using directed camera, so it's always
Yeah, and you
like
know who's usually right there with our jungler? This guy right here. So
Are you pointing to
should
yourself? We can't see you.
yeah, I know. I need to get a webcam if we're gonna keep
he's
doing
pointing
this.
at his little furry chest with his paw.
That guy.
Yeah, old Teddy.
Yeah. Yeah, no supports. Supports are not allowed in the Pentakill League playoff games. We're actually going to be subbing everybody up for top laners.
Yeah, I will say one thing that I think my team got an absolute steal. Everybody knows that Zuby's good. We got to see him in the what are the like
Scouting
pre-game
grounds.
scouting grounds. Coochie completely unknown factor when I saw him play Jinx one game and thought this dude is so much better than his rank. Absolutely kick ass, dude. And he's gotten a lot better as the season went on too. So shout out to Coochie because that dude, he was a last round pick that just totally snuck by. Go watch him in team fights. He's actually really clean. Dude, best Coochie clip of the season. I'm not going to just spend the next 20 minutes bragging about my own teammates, but I got to give Coochie some love.
Speaking of, I'm going to Deadbeat Demon Dad, the Iron mid laner, going toe to toe with Plat players, with Masters players. He's been role swapped a couple of times on IWB. This guy has come in swinging. He came in with that big group. He was with Developmental, Chup, COVID-19, Mo, Brzink. That whole group of individuals came in together. So obviously all those guys coming in a big way. Chup also part of that group. So
Are playoffs settled? What are those looking like?
Not even close.
yeah, so no.
Oh wow, okay.
There's only 5 teams guaranteed going to playoffs. Shadowhouse Horsemen, Voidwalkers, Streamers Ascended, Piltover Firelights, and the Ionian Blade Dancers. And the last 3 spots could go to anybody except for the Ixtal World Breakers.
Oh hey, yeah.
Damn.
Hell yeah, Cedric. Hell yeah, man.
Going strong. 0-9 to 2-9.
Playing spoiler like that?
Hmm?
Playing spoiler
You-
now? Just trying to...
Yes, there is in fact a big game coming up against the Vandal City Rockets. So they need that win, and we're not gonna give it to them easy.
Nice.
Yeah, and as the 3 of us, other than you said, are Texas A&M alumni, that's pretty much all we ever have every season. So, we're rooting for you.
I'm a Bills fan, man. So
we know how that feels.
yeah.
We are with you, Ixtal World Breakers.
Next season's our season, baby. We're going to Worlds.
Shall we keep moving down the list?
Yeah. Anybody else have anybody? I think I've run through my super subjective list.
Same.
I think we move on to the next subject.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, Healy Skater stick too. I think he deserved more votes than he got from what I saw. Yeah.
Healy Skater, got him. He's on the
Oh
list.
yeah, hell yeah, Ryan. You kick ass.
His immediate, I'm not going to say mastery, but proficiency on Nyla has been pretty cool to see.
All right, ban Nyla.
Yep, I heard it.
Well, paying attention, you'd already known that.
Immediately proficient. Got it.
I think we can transition pretty clean from our surprise players right over to who we think our team-wide MVPs are, Mr. the Twin.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, I've got my list here. Said you've got yours.
I got a list.
Ninerin and Steve, you guys
no
are
list.
the wild cards.
Yep, no lists for you.
So we'll just go down the list of teams and get talking about it. First up is Voidwalkers. Thoughts?
No comment.
No comment from
I
the
don't even pick
Voidwalker.
favorites on my own team. I think they all kick ass.
Okay.
I think we played really well. I will say just before we get this rolling, I don't think I've ever played any custom with any group of 5 people that listens and moves as quickly as the Voidwalkers this year. It's unreal. We had like a couple rough games. Our first 2 games Actually, our first three, we're a little shaky, and then we just fell into a groove, and it feels like pretty like we know exactly what we're getting into every game, and you know, comms are clean, the expectations are clean. If something goes sideways, well, I've never felt a more calm team where we're like, we're gonna win, so just stick to the plan.
That
And you can tell from our engages on stage, like when we call something, everyone just it's fucking game time. Everybody goes. Sometimes it goes a little sideways, but at least everyone's going, so feels
Yeah.
good.
And you know what? I think that's sort of what we expected to hear from a team that's, in the running for first seed. Yeah, I think at this point you can only fall as far as fourth if some weird shenanigans happen. Um, so obviously top seeded team, and I think we expect that. But let's see, Steve. What are you saying on the Voidwalkers? Which member?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get cute here. I think it's Aaron, and I think it's by quite a bit.
Hmm,
Just not only outperforming his
Thanks,
laners
Steve.
usually, and then also just we know he's handling the shot calling as well.
hmm.
Not by a mile. I think everyone's. I mean, I think Sir Blackfish is another one that I had no idea who the fuck he was, and is playing really well. I know he's high ranked and everything, and I feel like I don't want to take away from the high ranked people performing, because we've seen high ranked people underperform, and I don't think we've seen that on Sir Blackfish. Blackfish.
I have to agree. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Nine Rain as well on this one. Captain of the Voidwalkers has been smashing pretty much every other jungler so far, except for Tim. What happened there? You didn't beat Tim?
I
Except
don't,
for
wait,
Tim.
what happened was oh yeah, we fucking lost that game. That was yeah, we had a little kinks to work out. It is
Oh,
what it is.
okay,
Yeah, they played a good game actually. Noxus Warlords brought it, so I think that's what happened.
that's fair. Tim Gap, we got
Mhm.
it in the chat there. What about you, Mr. The Twin?
My vote also going to Nine Rain.
Mm,
Um, obvious shout out to uh, Kyle up in the top lane, Sir Blackfish, absolute menace in the 1v1. But I think there's just a good focus coming out of Twin here. And I mean, it's like every game, there's a plan. He shows up, the plan happens, and then you go, oh shit, this looks bad for the other team. So, yeah, pretty straightforward.
yeah.
Next
Thanks,
team.
guys.
Yeah.
Man, no, my team just makes it easy.
Aw, shucks.
I believe we have the Firelights next, built over Firelights.
Yeah. I want
Uh,
to go last on this one as well because I feel like I have an interesting opinion here.
okay. Let's start with Nine Rain. You abstained from the last one.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think this one's definitely Kevin. I think Kev's kicking ass in the jungle. I haven't seen him play much jungle either before this season, and so I don't know if that's something that he was familiar with before or if he, just went and picked it up. But obviously, doing a lot of heavy lifting pre-game, and they always have a really strong draft. They're always playing meta stuff, which is also scary because it's hard to prep for and it changes. And then yeah, he has just really been performing super well on a lot of different jungle picks. So it makes coming into the game and trying to have a good draft plan uh, super difficult.
Sure. Steve, what you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, without getting cute again, I'm just going with what I've seen and not trying to not do the controversial picks. I think it's clearly Kev. He's been dialing up some weird ass team comps that really, I mean, it bothered me at least. Like I couldn't do anything in the bot lane. Like it's just like I guess we just sit here until 22 minutes and then see what happens. And I think he also knows that about me. So I'm
To
going.
be fair, Kev was not in the game we played against PF.
That
Yeah,
is
but he
true.
could have done the draft plan. I don't know. But if not, then both. I think we'll get to him too. But yeah.
I think I actually have a differing opinion here. My
Okay,
my
let's
my
hear it.
vote here is towards Jellyfish, one of the
Yo,
most
Jill.
improved players over the split, and she started with a high floor, jumping up to plat this season. Expanding her 2 or 3 champion pool quite a bit so that she's much harder to ban out. getting all sorts of bans on her main champions all the time, still gets to play them because her team is so high value all across the board. I don't think she's had a bad game. She hasn't had a bad performance in any single like team fight in general, unless she just gets exploded because she plays squishy champions. But I think Jellyfish is probably the highest performing member of Piltover Firelights, in my eyes at least.
Yeah, definitely. Also, the fact that Lux and Vel'Koz actually dumpster almost everybody in lane. If you can gank them, they die. They're vulnerable because they can't get away. But so the ability for like Kevin taking high tempo picks, and then Jill always just having that 1v1. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I actually see. I thought I was gonna have the hot take here, but I think Kev definitely is cracked and has had a great season. But I am giving my vote to Jill. I cannot tell you how many Piltover Firelights games I have watched, and it was just like, oh shit, there is a massive gap going on mid lane right now, and not just in CS. I mean, like the amount of pressure Jill has put on the map and been able to move with Kev to make aggressive plays, roam to different lanes to make ganks happen, or just absolutely taking over with 1v1 kills. Like it's
Yeah,
nuts.
the Vel'Koz solo kills. I've seen that too many
Yeah, like
times. You guys need to
it's
fucking ban that
disgusting.
champion. I'm tired of seeing that shit.
Yeah, and I
She's
can't tell you how
breaking
many.
games. She's crashing the fucking spectator client.
I also
Nah, get
can't
it
tell
out of
you.
here.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen you were talking about how these champs are susceptible to ganks. People have tried again and again and again, and so often, she'll run flash barrier and just lands all the skills, positions well,
Yeah,
gets under her turret, and just like squeaks by with like the most frustrating amount of health. But
yeah,
she's
and
playing really well.
Squeaks by, I think, is exactly right. I can hear the comms as she's like, "Ee!" Flash, barrier, luck shield, gets away with 10 HP and a solo kill. And you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe
All
that
right.
brings us to IWB, and I will abstain from this one out of fairness.
Okay, to when you go next, because I gotta think about this one.
Okay.
Do you mean you have to look up what players are on the team?
No, I just need
Okay,
to
just
think
making
about
sure.
it.
We've got COVID-19 Timo, said Deadbeat Demon Dad.
Fox and Rising.
Yeah, Fox and Brezink. For me, my vote goes to Sed. I feel like when Sed's on point, when he's making stuff happen, IWB looks really good. When they tend to struggle is when lane states go poorly and there's like 4 or 5 people in the jungle killing Sed. And so, as far as I can tell, when Zed is able to get rolling, play his game, and start shot calling and making plays happen, I think that's when IWB looks really strong. I, I think honorable mention.
Times I've just seen Seth's get his dick kicked in the jungle again. 3
Yeah,
people on his mouth. Fuck you, Cedric.
It
yeah,
happens
Yeah,
too many
that happens a lot.
times.
Happens a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely giving it to Sed, but just remembering him playing Rammus support last season makes me both happy and sad at the same time.
We got a lot closer that game than we did in any of our other games, to be fair.
That's true. So when Adam said when he gets rolling, kind of chuckled at that as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, then I guess I'm the odd one out here because I'm going with Mike, Sly Fox. I think when Mike on 80 carry, mind you, not Mike in mid lane. I think Mike on 80 carry is always a win con. Sometimes a swingy player, but if he gets ahead, he can absolutely destroy a game, and that's all you need to win a game is one guy that can just take the gold and shove it down the enemy's throat. And so I think Mike has always been a win con on whatever team he's on, and I think he's doing the same on IWB.
True. Yeah, I will say definite contender for me. Mike in the
Yeah,
bot lane,
yeah, and
especially
Brysink is a
like
really good support, so I think that helps get Mike to where he can shine a lot of the time. So
yep. All
Yep.
right. Next team, Shadow Isle. Oh no, sorry.
We got
No,
Shurima's
it's
Ascendant
Shurima's
next.
Ascended.
Yeah.
I don't need to abstain from this because it's not fucking me.
Yeah, go for it.
It's Adam. It's Adam in the top lane.
Okay. I'm gonna
Thanks.
have to actually run it to Mr. Richard Nixon in the mid lane, going toe to toe with just about everybody, 1v1ing every single mid laner in the side lanes, running TP just about every single game. I don't think we've seen a poor performance from him yet.
Cool. Yeah. I think it's Twin. I think he's got too many picks that are good meta, good for this league. The Shen, the Sejuani specifically. I'm not just gonna go through your champ pool because you still got games to play, but I don't know. I think Twin's got a lot of strong picks, and I know he's making a lot of these calls, and um, always has. I mean, probably the best top lane map presence out of any top laner. So the Shen ult, or the just teleports in general are always on point. Sejuani flanks in multiple team fights in the past couple games I've watched. So
Yeah, and not only that, I almost get more comfortable when Adam gets first blooded, which doesn't happen often, but like for some reason I'm like, all right, he's dialed in. We're fucking winning this game.
That did happen. That did happen in a couple early games.
Yeah,
Like I'm pretty
where
sure our first game on stage, I like was that against Noxus Warlords, or it
uh
was. I just remember standing up in the top jungle, and I was looking bot lane, telling you guys where to stand in the bush, and then I looked at my screen and there was 5 people on top of me.
Yep, and I
yeah,
knew right then, like
well,
Adam's gonna figure it out and get a TP play, get that one back.
yeah, and I think in these games, a lot of the times it comes down to one, you need a way to win with your, but and then so like coming into the game, you need at least a player or two on champs that they can end the game on, and then you also need at least someone not to lose the game. No one can be on your team that just like they lost the game that game. No one can do that or the game's over. And even when Twin falls behind, there's a lot of times in solo lanes, both top and mid in this league, where you'll see it start sliding and then it just goes fucking bad. And fair enough, like it can be punishing, especially when that's the plan, is to punish one of those two lanes. But even when Twin falls behind, uh, you're never like, oh, it's looking super scary for the Shurima's Ascended. So yeah.
Yeah, good notes.
Thanks, guys.
I think it's also worth noting that Wicked Slice is on the team. He does great every single time. I love you, Wicked Slice. That one's for you, jungle to
Dude,
jungle.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Shurima's Ascended. I feel like were I not on the team would be the hardest team for me to judge, because I feel like there's just our strength is in everyone being able to perform well and play solid. So that's it's a tough one for me.
Yeah, that was my read on the team actually coming out of even as early as draft, was that they're probably the team with like the highest floor. All the players on that team were solid.
hmm
Noxus Warlords.
Yeah.
I'll start with this one. My vote goes to Tim.
Hell yeah.
This was a hard team for me to judge. A lot of it just due to some strange lane swaps, people being all over the place. But the reason I picked Tim was I feel like when Tim is in a position that he's comfortable on, and on a champ he's comfortable on, he can win you the game. Again, you look at the Voidwalker's loss um, that Noxus pulled off. I think a lot of that was on the back of Tim doing a lot of work. And in a handful of their games, some of their best looks have been when Tim gets rolling. And there's definitely some other standout players on their team, but I think a lot of their success hinges on Tim really pulling out a good game.
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't disagree with that. I think my vote is gonna go to Stabby Kitty. Um, he's been playing off-roll all season, but has had really, really solid performances in almost every single game. Um, he's not a huge voice on the team, but he's also never the reason that they just outright lose a fight or lose an objective. So I think, from a safe standpoint, like where we're in a league where you play not to lose rather than to steamroll and then crush in 90% of the games you play. So I think Stabby Kitty would be my go-to for the league of as a whole.
Yeah, man, and ironically, the reason that the Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row is because they played not to lose. So it's kind of crazy in this game.
Nice.
Thank you,
That was
Steve.
good. That was a good callback. I gotta give it to Goose. I think he's obviously just a hard carry, and I mean, in our loss first Noxious Warlords, his Cassiopeia was stupid strong. I mean, he was like 1v2ing and made it look easy, and just taking over team fights. And if that dude gets fed on a carry champion, it's like really hard to, I think, not. He can totally take over a game in 1v9. So yeah.
What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tim. I think he's overperforming quite a bit against players that are quote unquote like better than him. But like, I mean, rank doesn't mean a fucking thing in this league. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Tim. He hasn't seen like even like a speck of Udyr like the whole time, including now, which kind of sucks.
He did get one
has
game.
he gotten? He got one game, and didn't he just like pop the fuck off?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so like he's playing off of his
He
favorite
played
champ.
Udyr versus us.
Yep.
Yeah, and he played amazing. And
I'm gonna change my vote,
Okay.
but it's not to Tim.
Okay.
It's to the Ornn pillar that blocked the Scion ult that single-handedly won them the fucking game. Do you guys know of this pillar, by the way? Because there was a fucking train coming down from top lane
I remember
in our game versus them, and we didn't see what happened until VOD review, and we went, "Holy shit!"
That's all Stabby Kitty, baby.
Go watch the fucking. It's unreal how valuable that pillar was. I'm mostly joking, but it's worth taking a look at.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's clip that as well, along with I'd like to bring up once again, Aya's play was my favorite play I have ever seen.
Oh, come on.
I want to go see it in the context of the game now. I didn't get time to watch the game, but
Yeah.
It'll be a treat.
It is.
But once again, I wanted him to hit that. That's what made it way funnier.
Yeah, it was something. Let's jump to the Shadow Isles Horsemen. I think all 4 of us have a name that jumps right to mind.
Yeah, DeWitt's Mafia, baby.
DeWitt's Mafia, baby. No, I was gonna say developmental, eating bans and still playing super high performance champions. He did have one rough performance so far this season, but outside of that, he's played pretty immaculately on the Orianna, Kali, Ari, whatever else he played.
yeah, I've actually got a different take. I'm gonna go with Invisa on this one. He plays a mean like mid jungle, puts a lot of his early time into that mid lane, and still manages to come out with good farm numbers. And also, just from the customs that I played with him, he has a really good sense of how the game works early, mid game, and how to make those plays happen, and how to pace as a jungle. So we play them soon. I'm looking forward to how that game goes, and seeing how it feels on the other side of the rift. But I think it's Invisa for me.
Yeah, my vote's the same for much the same reason. I think I mean, if you just go and watch their games, the developmental doing a great job in mid lane, but a lot of that is Invisa and him paired together. And then you go and look at team fights, and especially when Invisa was making this run on Diana, it's
Yeah.
like all those team fights just absolutely disgusting initiations at just the right time. So, yep, that's my vote.
Yeah, and I want to say that I'm like barely kidding about Dewitz. Like he is like silver, and he like I mean he plays like he like plays against people that are like masters, diamond, and doesn't look that different.
Yeah, he probably in my book plays up to the level of his opponent more than any other player in the league.
Yeah, so
He
I
does
agree.
not get gapped. He will never get gapped.
No.
It's just like you could put fucking. I mean, you could put. He would gap Dyrus. You know, like.
Oh, I mean Dyrus is a mess, so he'd probably be fine.
Yeah.
But no, I'll give it to Invisa. I think when I played with him, it was like a stern grandpa that you knew that you knew he knew what was best, and I think he has a presence like that because it usually works out.
Stern grandpa.
Where you're like, I don't like the way you're saying this to me, but I like what you're saying. That type of thing. So I'm gonna give it to him.
That's funny.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Stirred grandpa.
I hope he sees this.
All right. Next we
yeah,
have
everybody who's in the chat, go into all chat and at Invisa and just refer to him
Yep.
as Stern Grandpa.
as many times as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Up to like 3 apiece. Don't do more than that, or I'll have to start handing out cards, and nobody wants that, especially not me. And it's already
got Invisa in
started.
the chat. And very grandpa like of him just not remembering it when he knows exactly what he would do.
Classic grandpa. I believe that brings us to team number 7, the Demacian Justiciars.
Yeah, this one was a hard one for me,
Mhm.
largely because half their team is missing from a lot of games. So
Yep, they have been
Um,
lovingly called the Footlongs pretty much all season.
Footlongers, actually.
Yeah, the Footlongers, my fault. I don't typically go with the hard R on those.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Where this? Well, okay.
No,
Nope, moving
just
on.
move past, move past.
Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, my vote's for Squirtle. I think that guy's got a good mind for the game.
Yeah.
Plays well. His Rakan has looked pretty great. I wish he was in the jungle making
Same.
plays.
Same.
I think that's where he's meant to be. But I think he's a big playmaker for this team, and has shown up a lot for them. Not to mention he's shown up for a lot of their games. So, yeah, big shout out to Squirtle. I think he's making it work. And I think they're still in the running for playoffs? Question mark? Or
They
lost?
are. They are still in the running.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say we play them next, so my bad. But Squirtle gets my vote.
Is that their
Yeah.
only game That is their only game remaining as well.
I think I would have gone with Squirtle were he in the jungle for the entire league, but maybe Abstract though has been kicking ass ever since Scouting Grounds. Every single game, he's a monster in team fights. He does well in lane, and he gets better like every game. So, and I've said this before, but I don't know what happened. He was a terrible player last season. He was always underperforming, and I'm kidding. He was on my team. If you didn't get the joke,
Yeah.
but no,
Previous Void Walker,
I
previous
think
Void
he's
Walker.
just doing. I think he's doing so well. Somehow didn't get like unanimous MVP vote last game. He's 13-1 on Tristana in a game where they're getting smashed. I don't know. I feel like he's just kicking ass every game. So
Reasonable. What do you think,
Yeah.
Steve?
Yeah, and I'm gonna go Squirtle as well. Not just because he taught me how to play Udyr, like 2 weeks, and I got from Bronze 4 to Silver 3 in that time. So I think he's got a pretty good eye for the game. Taught me quite a bit, and
that's a long grind.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Not for me.
And all right,
Oh, sorry.
and yeah, I think, and then I mean also like, yeah, I'm keeping with that.
Speaking of
Cool.
getting smashed, can we see that Yone clip from earlier? Holy shit. I think my vote is going to go to Abstract as well. I think he's the only member of the Justiciars to have shown up for every single game.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know if that's 100% the truth, but it's at least the most the truth because he's been there
Nice.
the most.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Yeah.
Dope. Way to go,
Sick.
man.
All right, Zon Underground.
This is a tough one for me. Um, I think overall I'm gonna have to give it to Rithma, captain of the Zon Underground. He plays a lot of scaling champs. A lot of their wins pretty much rely on him getting to the late game and being able to do what he needs to do. Uh, Dragon fights and Herald fights, he's almost always at pretty much every single fight they want to take over those. So, and I understand an argument for Goober Reborn. I just think Rithma is performing a little bit better overall presently.
Yeah, I agree. Rith gets my vote. Again, Goober, honorable mention for me. Definitely a tough opponent and a solid top laner. Um, I just think this season in particular, Rithma has really been showing off. Had a lot of great games, and he's a steady performer. So I think there's like one game that comes to mind where we've all had those games. It was a bit of a rough one, but aside from that, looking good all season.
Uh,
Go ahead, Steve.
I'm going Goober. I think he's been playing really well and deserves it.
Yeah, I'm also a Gooby Goob vote. I think he's cracked and a huge problem that teams have to solve. I think teams spend a lot of effort in pick ban and in their early jungle prio and just setting up to keep Goober from taking over a game. And so he's got a lot. I mean, he carries a lot of the weight on the team of carrying the burden of all of that, and still has really good games. So I got to go with Goob.
Cool. That brings us to the aspects of Targon.
Yeah, Twin, why don't you kick us off on this one?
Sure.
I think it's Belth. I think Belth is doing a really good job in the jungle. I think he's also doing I think he's probably doing almost all of the shot calling on the team. And both when we played them and especially their more recent games, they look pretty dialed in, to be honest. I think their score is probably, they could have won a lot of those games that they lost. And they rarely get smashed. So I just think that they have I don't know, just a couple things to work out with their. Usually they come out of Champ Select with like a looking a little worse than the other team. But I think in game, Belth has a lot of scary picks, and then as well just does a good job with the shot calling and direction of the team.
Yeah, Belth gets my vote too. And you definitely, we've all at this point, most of us played against AOT. When you play them in game, you'll feel it. There's the Belth factor, and you're like, especially with him in the jungle, it's like, shit, where's the next play gonna happen? And yeah, I think he's been playing really well. Really making, again, the vast majority of the plays from AOT, I think, are coming out of the jungle. They've looked good aside from just Belth, but I think that's where the action on their team is focused around. So yeah.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys. I think a lot of their big punching is coming out of the Ace Awakens, previously IS Saga.
Hey,
So
Yeah.
Augustia.
yeah, I have to give it to him. He's had, in their few wins that they've had, he had huge pop off games. Both in I believe he had a win on 80 carry and then two in the mid lane so far.
Mm-hmm.
Both were insanely good. In the game we played against him, he was in the bot lane and he was a big problem for us in the mid to late game fights. So I think it's gonna go to the Ace Awakens on that one.
Yeah, and you got to mention every time Aya learns a champion, it's permaban Yasuo, and then you're immediately thinking, okay, are we banning that next one?
Hmm.
Just because he's got scary picks and he's a really mechanical player. So
Yeah. What about you, Steve?
It's kind of hard. I mean, if I'm going like total package, you got to go Belth because the Belth factor's there, man. I mean, we took Dragon and 4 of them were sitting in the river bush, which I have never seen in my life. So, and I'm pretty sure he orchestrated that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
we had to play against him twice.
yeah, we
Sitting in
did.
those brush, we learned our lesson from. Yeah, thanks, Belth. You screwed your team actually by playing for PF. You let us in on your bush camp
Everybody,
strategy.
everybody change your
Yeah.
votes over to Aya. There you go.
And then, but if I'm going like so total package, yeah, I think Belth, but I think they
Wait,
live and
when
die
y'all
by
played
Aya.
when y'all played against PF, Belth was subbing for Kev.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
were winning the entire game, and then he popped off on Belveth, and that was it.
Yeah,
Classic.
well, more than just the Belveth popping off, it was their setup and then execution on engage into team fight around vision. It was really good, and you just knew it was like Bell saying, "All right, we're in this bush, come here, Seraphine ult when they walk into us," and it happened. So
Yep.
you know, yep.
Reasonable. That brings us to the Ionian Blade Dancers.
What team is that? Where are you? Okay.
Yep,
Personally, I gotta give it to Old Man Zoomies. Crazy support player. He's feeding into both his jungler success. He's feeding into Valerian's success. And, when he needs to, he's in the mid lane. He's in the top lane. He's one of the best roaming supports in the league, other than Steve, obviously.
Thank you.
But you know what? He's a big reason for their team's success. And I think, his wide champion pool and his need to be banned in pretty much every single draft is significant.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Old Man Zubis as well. He was the biggest problem that we had to solve pregame, and then, yeah, I think he just knows where to be as a support player, which is obviously the most important thing about playing support is you can make a massive difference with where you are on the map, and he does a really good job of that without leaving his AD carry dry or anything. So, and then like you said, Vol's such a strong carry, especially in team fights that. Yeah, I think he makes Vol look good. I think he makes the rest of the map look a lot better for the team. So,
For me, my vote goes to Jer. Um, I mean, I think he's a playmaker, and when IBD is looking really good, I think a lot of it is on the back of Jer making pop off plays in the jungle, plays some good strong champs, executes them well. Uh, Definitely someone that going into the game, you have to respect and prepare for. Yeah.
I, I would, I would just like to add, I would almost give Firefox the fucking MVP
Yeah.
for the sickest play I saw in the entire league. The sickest play I've seen in, I can't tell you how long, when he backed on Kennen, walked bot lane, bush ganked the bot lane on Kennen at level 6 and dove bot tower and then TP'd back to top lane. That's like the worst, best play I've ever seen in my life. I don't know. That was fucking brilliant. I don't know. Nobody does that. Nobody has ever done that. Nobody will ever do that. Even people watching this thinking, I'm going to go do that now. You won't. You'll look at the map and you'll be like, yeah, it probably won't work. And you won't do it. And he fucking did it. It was sick. So, honorable mention.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Blacks as well. He kind of went from being. I mean, I'm thrilled he's not playing support anymore because that was tough to deal with in the bot lane, and hadn't made it much easier in the jungle too. You kind of had that looming thing of like he could be here any second now and I'm dead. Like you don't feel with at least in solo queue you don't feel that way. So yeah.
Yeah, their team has a really, really strange set of stats because they go from a game where Jer has all the kills and Firefox is the only player in Pentakill history to have 0 kill participation in a game.
Wait, really?
You
Yeah,
serious?
in their first game, in their first played game this season, Firefox had 0 kills, 0 assists.
Hell yeah.
They had a really rough one. But then,
Who was that against? Do you know?
I don't remember. Uh, it might have been Piltover.
Hmm.
No, it couldn't have been Piltover. Piltover played against BCR week 1. We'll come back to it. But like then they have these games where Firefox is playing Shaco top and ruining the game for all 5 of the other players.
That was
Or
crazy.
like
Mhm.
this guy plays every single champion and he's playing not to dox the guy, but from, Eastern Europe where he gets no ping, for, our servers. So he's playing like a second and a half behind us almost. Yeah, it's just like, all right, this guy's cracked out of his mind, and now, Vol's also popping off. So, and Sebrig, depending on which champion he's on, he's had some of the worst performances and some of the best performances in the league so far in mid lane. So it's such a strange team to have to discuss MVPs for because they're so fluid, like entirely. But going to the next team, that brings us to the Vandal City Rockets.
Hmm.
This is gonna be
I'll
another
go
tough
first.
one, I think.
Nah, this one for me. I think it's. I think we got to go with the Big Daddy in the bot lane.
Tofu?
I think. Hey, yeah, that would be the best nickname for Tofu. By the way,
I
She
don't think
loves
so.
being called Big
I
Daddy
don't think
for
that's
sure.
correct.
I'm writing that
I don't
down.
think that's a good
Big-
choice.
I think Moach just is so damn good
Yeah,
at
Mooch is
support.
nuts.
He is an absolute monster in lane. And then, I mean, him and Tofu this season have done such a good job, like powering through bot lane, getting first tower, getting on the map. Um, Moach's vision control is really good. You can tell he's always setting up plays and directing them as a support. Um, which isn't as straightforward to do a lot of the times because you don't usually have the money bag to just go like start shit. You're not like fed on Zach. You're like, I'm just gonna hop in, man. It'll be fine. My team will get here eventually.
That's definitely how Randy talks when he plays Zach.
Yep. And then if he gets Senna, you probably lose the game full
Yep.
stop. So
Yeah, I think Moach is the support player with the most solo kills in the league. I also think he solo killed Aya the most under his tower um, out of any player.
that's a dirty stat. Why do we know that?
Chat's helping us out here a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's honestly his play is so well-rounded. He's, the primary shot caller for his team, and their record doesn't show it, but they've had really solid games across the board. Like I don't think any of their games have been blowouts. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have to agree, Moch.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna throw my hat in the ring with Moach as well. Same. I mean, his Senna Thresh, they're absolutely sick, and yeah, he's looked good in all of their games.
Yeah, and I can pretty comfortably say Moach as well. Although I think Tofu's been she
Yep.
surprised me quite a bit with like I said with the Draven. I don't even know what else she's played. I've only paid attention to that because I mean, what did she go that one game like 13-0?
Yeah, she had a really strong pop-off game.
Yeah. Which I mean, like that's normal for Draven, but like, I mean, how many people can play Draven well?
Yeah.
Not many. I know Aaron can. I've seen it a couple times, but yeah.
I used to partake.
I only play him in the jungle, and it's not the same experience.
I actually forgot I played a bunch of Draven.
Yeah, I
Pretty
was
fun.
right there with you.
I remember, Steve. I remember.
Yeah, so with Moach getting our unanimous votes, that brings us to the Bilgewater Powder Monkeys, Post McClone's team.
Which is my favorite name for a team.
That's fair.
Full stop.
Yeah, I'll start this one off. MVP is Prisma for leaving, so Fratty Daddy Daddy could come in and absolutely dominate the entirety of the league.
There was Jaeger bombs
Jesus.
for a little while.
That's true.
Jesus.
So both of them. No, I think Mickey's been pretty damn good, but so is Healy.
I gotta give it to Fratty. I don't know if this is the right choice. I just like the story, and it's been so fun to watch them turn their season around. And he's not like making perfect plays in the mid lane, but they're playing as a team now. And they just look really good with Fratty in the mid lane. So I'm giving it to Fratty just because I like the turnaround. The second half of the season have been super fun to watch. So
Yeah, I didn't get to finish. If you're going Friday, I'm going Friday. You have
hell
to.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I read your lie there. We're like 6 foot,
That-
like
that
6 foot
sounds
outside
like
the hole, and I watched it.
that sounds like the Steve I knew in college.
Oh, I was not in a fraternity.
I think I gotta give my vote to Mickey. I mean, the dude's pulling bans every game, at least one. If it's not the Zillion, it's the Seraphine, and he's looked good in most of their games, and in the vast majority of them has absolutely, especially come team fight time, really carried. Also roams very well and just makes plays across the map. He's just good at seeing a play and making it happen, showing up at the right time. A lot of experience in the support role. So, um, yeah, I think he's had a lot to do with their success.
For sure. I'm gonna be the odd man out. I'm gonna go with Post McClone on this one.
Hey, Posty.
He also pulls bans every single game. Pretty mandatory to ban his Shaco away from him. Dude plays 6 or 7 games of that guy every single day, pretty much. Uh, you know, and then on top of that, he's got a champion Ocean. My team went to war with him. We banned 9 junglers between the two teams, and it didn't matter because the two of us play every single champion at a pretty good level. He performs in just about everything. So I got to go with Post McClone.
Yeah, and I know if I'm up at 6 in the morning and I'm playing some old man gamer hours, I know who's there for a game. It's Post McClone.
Yeah. But that finishes up our teams. Why don't we talk about, instead of players, let's jump over to champions. Big champions
Ooh.
in the league. Obviously, we have a bunch of one tricks on a variety of characters. We got Post McClone Shaco, we got Rengar of a Stabby Kitty, we've got the Cassiopeia from Balthazar, Zillion on any support player except for Steve.
Yeah, fuck that.
Well, there's a bunch of players that have that one champion that elevates them above, but there's a couple of champions that just sit above the rest of them in the league. We've got Trundle in the jungle is a
Trundle,
huge
yep.
problem.
Yep. A lot of teams picking up the Trundle. And I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where if your team, if your jungler plays Trundle, like other teams got to be thinking about banning it.
Mhm.
I mean, we saw it today in PF versus AOT. Trundle showed up. I mean, I feel like I don't know exactly, but it feels like every week, at least in one game, Trundle's making an appearance, and if he's not, it's because he's being banned.
Yeah, I think he's been pick or ban in every single IWB game that has been played so far this season.
Yep.
I'll give you one.
Yeah.
And our fearless leader and our captain has told us this many times, but Anivia has only lost one game this split, and I think it's been played 6 times.
Strangely, Anivia is quite popular. Like Anivia, Vigar, these champions with big fucking circles, these counter dive, kind of counter engage, super valuable in this league.
I think Anivia is only popular because Evil Bob plays him, and Evil Bob has subbed for at least 10 games.
Does Evil Bob play Anivia? I thought it was only Sabrig and
Richard Nixon also
Richard
plays.
Nixon.
Yeah.
and Sabrik
Avian,
play
I
him.
don't know if he's pulled him
Avian
out in the
plays
bot
him,
lane,
but I
but
don't
he
think we've
does play
seen him.
Anivia.
Yeah.
I love Anivia bot, by the way. You just
Yeah, I
all
got-
in level 2 and then just int with your egg and you win because they have to kill you 3 times.
Yep.
Yeah, I got
That
my
one's
dick kicked
free,
in
Avian. You can
by,
take that one's for free.
by an Anivia the other day. Really didn't feel good.
Yeah, it's another big one.
Talons. So
Another, obviously Vigar, almost every mid laner plays Vigar, and
Yeah.
when they do, he's a problem. All the late game scaling mid laners.
Seraphine.
Oh,
Seraphine
Seraphine's
Senna.
huge.
Yeah, that's kind of more of a she's been too strong for too long kind of thing.
Mhm.
and we would all love to see her get nerfed. I don't know one person who would disagree with that.
Yeah.
Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
Mickey's not on the desk, is he?
I'm
Other
holding the microphone.
supports, yeah, other supports. We got, Rakan is actually really
Rakan's
big this
big.
split.
Yeah,
Zillion,
you're welcome for that.
yeah.
A
Rakan's
lot
really
of
big.
Nautilus too.
Yeah, Nautilus has been pretty
Leona
prominent.
pretty popular.
Mhm.
These engaged supports. Yeah.
Mhm.
Zach.
Zach in the jungle,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
really big.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because, like, outside of Pentakill, you hardly ever see Zach.
Mhm.
But here, there are a lot of junglers who play Zach, and
That's the
it's to the
Randy
point.
effect.
Yeah, honestly, like,
Randy,
I remember.
Citrone.
Yeah, Randy and Citrone are the two that come to mind first. But yeah, definitely some high priority on Zach.
Yeah,
I
Post
played
Malone
I,
played
I
him.
played I
You
played
played
one
him.
game on Zach last season, or sorry, against a Zach last season, just like a normal 5-man whatever game, and the dude shit on me, and I was like, "What the hell was that? He did way too much damage. Why did he do that?" So it turns out this guy was a Zach one trick. I went and watched the stream, and I was like, "Dude, that shit looks so easy." Played one game, went like 12-0, and I was like, "Okay, I play Zach now. This shit's broken."
Yep.
It's fun.
Yeah, another big jungler, Diana, originally
Oh,
brought to
yeah.
us by Invisa, but uh, even I picked it up this season.
Yep.
He's nuts.
Citrone, Pearl Ursa, who for some reason went from one name that no one can pronounce to another one that has a second R in it that I'm confused why it's there. Big Diana player as well.
Evil
There's
Bob.
mid laners that play
Yep,
Diana.
Evil
Yeah.
Bob's another one.
Another one is Lilia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a good amount of Lilia, and no one likes that.
No.
Stop
I don't
playing
know
it.
what to say, man. I got no problem with it.
Stop playing it.
I don't know why you guys don't. People keep leaving it open. I'm fine, happy.
Yeah. Let's
That's all
see.
I can think of. ADCs. Let's see.
Sivir, Draven, Misfortune.
Feels like
Nyla
Sivir.
already a lot of Sivir, and then Nyla now that she's open has
Mhm.
already shown up a bunch.
Yep. Super
Um,
problematic champion.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
not a
guess we can-
fan. Not
we
a
can just
fan.
say Seraphine again,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Seraphina
yeah.
the second time for sure.
and in
sure.
the
Yeah.
mid lane, and the jungle, and the top
Mhm.
lane.
There have been a lot of Shen players this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of Shen.
Shen
Which
and
she always
Mordekaiser are
likes to see.
huge top laners.
Shen, Mordekaiser, Darius always kind of like flirting in the champ pool of most top laners.
Yep. Also Victor. We
Yeah.
haven't seen as
Oh,
many
yeah.
games on Victor because he's always on the ban list.
Yeah, Rhythma's not allowed to touch that champion, and you know what you did.
Yeah, there's a handful of mid laners where if they get Victor, it looks like a very different kind of game.
Yep. Garen was big this season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wukong was huge, both
A
top
lot
and
of
jungle.
Wukong. Yeah. Yep. I'm
I'm trying to
glad
think
Poppy has fallen out of favor a little bit. Fuck that champion. She's not cool. I don't know why you're playing her just because she's strong. She's boring as fuck. So
Decent amount of Volibear, yeah. I feel like we've seen.
yeah,
Yeah, we
dude.
saw a
Okay. I don't. People freaked out when he got nerfed, and it was substantial, but that champ still feels stupid strong. I still play him top in jungle, and I think Volibear is undervalued. That champion still pretty dope.
For sure.
Haven't seen him very much in the league though.
Early on we did. He was really pick banned for a while. We saw him earlier today too in the AOT game. Balthazar played him.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say Volibear would be significant for the league. Another champion that we only saw a couple of times was the Rengar, currently undefeated in the league.
How many times have we seen that?
One.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, someone made the mistake of giving the Stabby Kitty the Stabby Kitty.
Yep, should have did that.
Yeah, crazy decision to let that go through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you have ever been in comms with him while he's on Rengar, but he actually only meows. He
Yep.
stops
Meows and
speaking
growls.
English
Yeah.
and
I
he
don't
just
think
meows.
I don't think I've ever heard him make a sound while playing Rengar. He just, he jumps on somebody and then he goes, and then that's it.
Hmm.
It's like, all right, I guess we're winning the game, but I don't know what we're supposed to be doing right now, but he just got a penta, so I guess I'll go take dragon. Akshan was pretty prominent this time around, thanks to Goose. Can we get some
Yeah,
honks in chat for Goose?
lot of Akshan bans. Didn't see
Yeah,
him a
for
lot.
sure.
Yeah. He hit the rift early with Balthazar. We saw a game from Debbie Demon Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think Goose was ever allowed to play him. Foxy
Nope.
played him once. Um,
Oh, right.
IWB Akshan stands. That's us.
I wish the champ was a little strong. They nerfed him a little hard.
Yeah.
But we blame the top lane auction players. They can suck it because that's kind of abusive and mean.
Yeah,
Yep.
I have no pity for Action players.
Yeah, fuck you, Goose. Go honk yourself.
Go
Yeah.
honk yourself. Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody else that super stands out. Obviously, we have our one Yasuo one trick. We have three Udyr one tricks.
Yeah, before the changing, the revamping,
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
still the same champ.
probably would have seen a lot of Udyr if that didn't happen.
Yeah. Um, Sly Samira, never allowed to be played.
Yeah, a decent amount of Sintra considering I don't see her anywhere else.
Mm.
She's never in solo queue, not that popular. Or actually, I should say not popular at all in pro play, except for maybe as a counter to LeBlanc, who is also bad and should not be in pro play.
Hmm.
So,
Kind of weird champions did we see this season?
well, we did see one LeBlanc pick
Yeah,
from
developmental.
developmental. That was surprising. No one else plays that champion in the league.
Rithma plays LeBlanc a little bit.
Has he ever played it in a league game? Do you know?
Yeah, last
Interesting.
season he played it a bunch because he took, 2 or 3 bans every single game. Victor, Corky, Syndra.
Other weird picks. The cannon.
The cannon was weird. The
The
Shaco top
Shaco
was
top.
weird.
Yeah. Speaking of,
We had 2 Rammus picks. One of them wasn't even me.
yeah. And Rammus is really strong right now, and has
No.
been really. He's been really high win rate for a long time, for the past couple of patches. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was
Uh,
like, even maybe. I mean,
take a peek
I haven't
at him.
looked at it in maybe a patch or two, but he was like 52, 53.
He's
Am I
floating.
wrong?
He's floating just about 50. He was 51 last patch,
Mm.
49 the patch before.
Ooh, rest in peace.
Yeah, so he's floating the 50 right now.
I swear to God, there was a point where he was.
There was a point
whatever.
where he was 54%, and it was a
Okay.
good life for some of us.
Okay.
We saw Kindred a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that strange, but we did see. I think this is the first season we've seen Kindred, right?
That I can remember.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think we saw her at all last season.
Tarek
Lots
I
of
mean,
Tarek,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
makes sense in this league that we're seeing.
Yeah, I had
a pick
Tarek
like
Jungle
that.
banned from me actually against the Bilgewater Powder Monkeys. They knew.
Yeah, no, that was
Have we?
that was
Have we
actually
gotten?
that was 100% Ryan Healy
Mhm.
Skater. It was that one game that you played Tarek Jungle, and
Yeah, I went like
he's-
11-2 or something in customs.
you were just
and-
beating the shit out of people, and he was like, "I'm never gonna let Sid play that champ again." So
That's funny.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I played a custom with Ryan on my team where we banned Tarek against you in the jungle, and he was like Tarek, and I was like, why? And he was like Cedric, and I was like, okay.
I play a lot of weird shit, man.
BPM.
BPM.
Did we ever get Alawi on stage? Did anyone ever allow that to happen?
Shut up. Well, I'm not answering that question out of principle.
Because
don't
we
think so,
we
though,
played
no.
her once or twice in scrims, but I don't think we ever got her.
I don't think it went to.
So then that doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, if your top laner has any say in pick ban, they're
Yeah.
gonna say no. No one wants to play against that.
We've
It's not fun.
I will say we've seen way more Teemos than I would have ever guessed. including a Teemo mid and a Teemo jungle.
Tingo.
Tingo jungle.
We did see the Teemo jungle.
And it,
Oh,
and it should have
yeah.
worked.
Teemo
God
mid
damn
was
it.
the same player though. Like Teemo mid
Yeah.
was COVID-19 Teemo.
I wanted Teemo jungle to work, but I did not believe in Teemo
It
jungle.
did for a while until it didn't.
But I wanted to believe. I
Yeah.
just couldn't.
Yeah, Teemo jungle was definitely one of the stranger picks this season.
Yeah.
That might be the strangest pick this season.
Yeah, I think.
And
we
let's not
probably win that
justify.
game.
Oh, it kind of works. It's Teemo jungle. It's fucking horrible. And if you pull it off, well done. But there's no way that that's a pick.
Almost
You heard it here
worked.
first, BCR. I'm playing Draven jungle
And
against you.
to be
Don't ban it
fair,
or you're a coward.
I actually think it would have worked if we had just cleaned up some map movement on our end as a team. I don't even think the Teemo jungle was the problem.
Yeah.
Like as a pick.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But that's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Any other weird? Was there anything else that was just like, don't pick that? Was there ever that?
I don't.
Did we ever have a? I bet there was a game somewhere at some point where they picked something. We're like, nah, they just threw the game with that pick.
Shaco top, I was like, this guy's a fucking idiot. What is he doing?
And then he
and
ran
then just-
house.
Yeah.
That's
You
funny.
can probably hear it in the cast where I'm just like,
Yeah.
guess we're just not taking this league seriously. and then it popped off.
Yeah. I don't think there was any bad
Varus.
Varus.
Varus
yeah.
on Johnny Boy.
Yeah, Johnny did pretty good on those games.
Yeah, and I saw him play AP Varus one time. Be very afraid of that if it comes to that.
Okay.
Did we get Yumi on stage?
Yes,
One
did
game?
s-
We
did
did.
see on IBD we had the Twitch Yumi out of Valerian and Old Man
Oh,
Zoomies.
yeah.
That team has the least
did
fingers
my
out of the
team-
other teams.
I've heard that stat many times actually at this point. Did my team play Yumi on stage?
Yes, I'm getting
think we
word
played
from
one game.
Zubaba right now. That
yeah.
Yumi
I
played
couldn't
on
remember if
stage.
that was a scrim or not. I think we played one scrim with it, and then or no, it was just like a normal game, and it went pretty well. So
What
Yeah.
champ will never be played on stage in Pentakill?
Yasuo.
Heimerdinger?
Ha
No, we had a Yasuo game. DJ played it. Mario.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Probably Heimerdinger, I think.
never mind.
I guess with Joe being gone.
All right.
Yeah,
This has been
nice.
great fun, but I do want to propose a topic of conversation that we didn't plan for, but interesting scenarios, whether it's picks or players or teams related, interesting scenarios that we would like to see occur in playoffs. And it
I
could
want to
be
see Cedric
funny or
standing
interesting.
on Sujin's shoulders.
Why?
That would be interesting to me.
Okay.
You said interesting scenarios between players that I would like to see.
Not
And that,
between players.
That immediately came to mind. I don't see how that isn't exactly the nature of the question.
Okay, I'm seeing some good stuff from chat already. A good example, Aya getting a pentakill. How
Somebody,
hype would that be?
somebody wants to see Rise Jungle. I
Yeah,
played it
with,
in
like,
the
some-
normals.
With some like music in the background, and like everyone's lined up for a perfect ult,
Dude,
and then he gets it.
there was one game where I played Yone and Aya played Yasuo, and I remember diving the enemy like tier 3 bot side tower and Yone ulting like 5 people and screaming, Arike! And Aya, I could hear his eyes light up. It was a good moment. It's a good moment. I know Aya remembers exactly what I'm talking about.
He missed the ult, and he didn't follow up, and you lost the game, right? But
Is that? Yeah,
No,
that
we did.
sounds-
We won the game.
I'm just kidding.
Interesting scenario. I'm waiting for Voidwalkers to lose out. BPM goes on the miracle run. BPM ranks higher than Voidwalkers in playoffs. That would be amazing.
Could that happen
Wait.
still?
It can happen.
See, wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be nuts. Both teams have
It's-
3 games to go. Both would end up
Bratty
at
Natty
7 and
Daddy
4.
goes 6
I
and
mean,
0
yeah,
on the
one of-
season.
We're currently trying to figure out when we play
Yep.
BPM. So
If BPM goes on the
Uh,
miracle run and you guys don't win
I
any
mean,
games,
Yeah,
Steve was in the chat earlier. So you should
Dude, we
have just
can
asked him then.
we can actually talk a little bit about some like even pre-season 4 shenanigans. Like Kev was mentioning, the PF versus Aaron's team / Shadow Isle. Like all three of those teams have a lot of history in the league fighting for the top spots. So that's going to be pretty hyped to see how that plays out. And it's so close right up until the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Voidwalker's going for
Yeah,
top three yet again.
we play SIH Sunday, and then
What time would that
we
be so I can get you guys casters while I'm
I
thinking about
think is it 9:30 p.m. Eastern? I will ping you about
it?
that.
Sounds good.
Um,
I'll put it on the calendar
and
tentatively.
yeah, that's Sunday. This coming Sunday. BPM should be shortly after, and then that week also is going to be our game against PF. So those 3 games are going to be happening pretty quick.
Those are right now 3 of the top rated teams, so that's going to be a hell of a way to finish the season for you guys.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
going to be hype.
And I think I like the matchup versus both of those teams is jungle versus jungle team captains who all have a pretty substantial voice in comms, and so it's just gonna be a fun game for me personally versus both Invisa and Kev. I think it's gonna be
Posty too. All 3 of those games.
Yeah.
Damn. What a way to end the season. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Situation I'd like
All
to
captain
see.
jungles, yeah.
Something insane like Stabby Kitty gets like something where like 2 1-tricks get to go up against each other. Would be cool. I don't think it's gonna
And
happen.
they get their 1-tricks?
Yeah, that's what
That
I'm
would
saying.
That
Like
would
they,
be
they
hype.
both get.
And they're
they both
on
get-
random ass champions.
Yeah. So like if there's, I know there's not a world this happens, but like Avion gets Karthus and Stabby Kitty gets Rengar, and we just get to see like
Who
2
gets the
people that
hard
put-
carry harder?
Yeah.
What I've got a question. What team do you think is the hardest to pick ban like in draft against?
Ooh.
Who is it? It might be BPM because there's a couple angles you can go down. So you
I
can say like
disagree.
I also disagree.
I
Okay,
think
no-
it's got to. I
Never mind.
think. Well, I'm just thinking back to
It-
when we were planning draft against
Yeah.
BPM.
I think the
Um,
hardest draft is Voidwalkers.
It
I-
for us it's PF because it doesn't include Voidwalkers, but I think Voidwalkers is a puzzle for.
I would-
laughing.
I
We were
would
laughing
actually
game
say-
1 when
I would say
when I put that team
Voidwalkers,
together.
yeah.
I was like, I don't know what you do. First round is fucking bad always, but PF I think is going to be our biggest puzzle to solve.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not only do they put the work in like before the game, but they just can play so much shit that I hate playing against for good reason. So it's gonna be really hard to. I think both
I will
teams.
say, once if Seraphine were to get nerfed, there are a lot of teams that would be so much easier to ban against.
Yep.
Seraphine is a massive problem. Yeah,
If she were nerfed, it would everything much simpler.
yeah.
But yeah, I think
But no,
Voidwalkers.
they
PF.
thought Kiana was a bigger problem. So
oh, here we
Like-
go.
Oh,
Yeah.
my. This
Oh,
guy.
come
Old
on.
man
Yes.
9 rate. Yeah, my
Well, I
Kiana.
don't- no, hey, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Who am I to say? They're fucking.
Oh, I have another fun
It
prompt.
goes down to bottom 3 win rate jungler, the dredges with Lee Sin and Pantheon. What do I know?
Okay, the most, and I
Okay.
want to get some chat input from this as
Okay.
well. The most
I had to say it, I had to say it.
volatile, the most volatile, the most swingy, greatest highs and lows player in the league. know
Obamacare,
my-
it's not close.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's not close. It's Mario.
Yep. If he goes 4-0, he's going to go 12-0. If he goes 0-4, he's going to go 0-12. Absolutely every game. Sometimes he has performances in the middle, but if he ever hits that marker, just like straight towards high or low. I don't. No one even is close.
I disagree. My captain, Brazink, way swingier. If he gets
Yeah?
first blood, we'll win the game. If he dies first, we'll lose the game immediately.
Interesting.
And-
Okay.
and not even like he will have a bad. We will lose the game. The whole team will lose the game if he dies first blood.
What's your vote, Steve?
Mario, and it's like a pendulum.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
because
awesome.
again, like we've seen some
It's
games,
awesome, yeah.
like
The
the
Aatrox games where
Mordekaiser
he's like
game
1v9
versus the Aatrox.
yeah, dude, that's
You're like-
the clearest example in my mind. 0-12 on Mordekaiser, just farming, pushing, doing whatever, dying again, is whatever. And then the Aatrox game where he's like 1v9, just like screaming. Yeah,
We can hear him in the cast. He's not even
Yeah.
on the desk. He's not even
Yeah.
logged into Discord. Just, yeah, that's fair. Honorable mentions to Sly Fox, who either goes
Sly Fox, I think, is second for me.
16
Yeah,
and
actually,
2.
you said it's not. You said it's not close.
It is close.
But
I actually, yeah. No, I think
I
Sly
do
Fox
think
is all.
Mike gets his,
Mike's so, and
he
it
sneaks in there.
Mike's isn't a mental thing. It's not like he just always plays hyper aggressive.
Mhm.
So when he's ahead, he just kills a lot of people, and when
Yeah.
he's behind, he doesn't quite kill them and dies.
Unless he's playing Samira into my Lulu, and then there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember
Unless that. Sorry,
Honorable
Steve. I don't remember
mentions.
the exact game you're mentioning between a very specific player that probably happened a long time ago.
Honorable mentions to Ayat Saga, who either pops off or doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know, but I have too many memories of Aya playing, getting behind and just farming it out, and he comes. I mean, just always shows up at like 200 farm late game and is a problem. So
Yeah, agree. Yeah, I don't think he's as swingy as we would all like to believe he is.
Tim, but more so because when he gets rolling, he really rolls.
Uh huh.
Um,
And
no,
When
that was my point. Was as opposed to the
I
other
thought we
players.
were gonna go down the flaming route.
No. I don't have to
Doom and
front Tim.
Torch,
Everybody,
baby.
everybody knows Tim. I don't have to point out all the games where he's completely lost it.
Yeah, I mean, when
team
it's
and he's
raining
just-
outside, you don't need
I don't-
to
I don't
walk
have
outside
to
and go,
mention the
I'm getting
fact that-
wet.
Yeah.
We all know. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, we got Tall Handsome Top saying, I vote Tim. He knows. Any other fun prompts?
yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, I think
see.
Ryan and I playing each other in the finals would be pretty funny.
That would be incredible. I also think unlikely. Like,
BPM and Shaw, they can make it.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not something that could happen. It's just unlikely, I would say.
Yeah.
BPM's on the road to Viridian City, I'm telling you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Team Rocket not make it to finals?
Ooh. Wait.
No,
No,
it
Team
was,
Rocket never lost.
Season 2.
It was the Magoos.
Yeah.
Team
Oh
Rocket.
no, it was the Magoos. We were like smashing most of our games and then lost out and like
Tequila Heroes came out of nowhere. It was
Yeah,
just like,
yeah. In a best of 3, we lost 2-1. So it like, yeah, it's not like a one-off game. They beat us twice. Yeah. I remember that was a pretty big upset. I remember we were not expecting it.
That's
think
how
a
I
lot of
came
people
into the
were,
league
so-
was casting those games, and I was
Then
like, I was told that the Magoos were like unbeatable, like going to finals for sure. I was like, all right,
Yeah, dude, and that was also LCS, who
yeah.
was cracked all season, and I think they like only lost to us or something.
I walked into
And
those
then
games and I was like casting. I was flaming Kev the entire time because I thought he was playing like garbage on Tristana mid. He kept jumping into Misfortune ults. I was like, what is it? Like, this guy's diamond? Okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah, man, that was a crazy playoffs.
Yeah, and then
It does.
like,
It
next
does.
season
It
he
does
shit
serve
on
as like
everybody.
a.
I was like, all right, well.
It does serve as a sobering reminder that you can't march into playoffs feeling overconfident, because shit happens, man.
Yeah, season
Like,
2
it's crazy.
went fucking hard.
Yeah, Kev brought up a good topic of discussion: the most surprising team performance-wise. Who were you most surprised by?
IWB, baby. We were supposed to go 11-0, and that did not happen.
Ooh.
Is that really your answer?
I do think IWB's performance is my most shocking. I did not expect my team to be the bottom of the barrel.
That was a shock to
Hmm.
me as well. But like, man, it's one of those things where if you actually watch y'all's games, there are so many that were winnable or very close or where you looked really good. Um, that yeah, it's one of those things where like, man, yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty. It's not my number one, but that was very much surprising to me.
Most
My
shocking.
I'm shocked by I mean, this isn't like a slight, like new teams are new teams, but Aaron, your team did not look good game 1 or game 2.
Mm,
And then
You're right.
and then now
We
you have only lost 1 game. So I was a little worried for you. And then you guys turned
Yeah,
it
they
around.
were shaky games. I'm glad though. I remember getting in comms with my team after both of those games and saying, "This is good. I'm glad we lost early. I'm glad we're struggling now because then we actually have something that we can talk about. If you just go in and smash your first 3 games or something, then it's kind of hard to take too much away from that." So, yeah, those first 2 games and even the third one were pretty shaky.
yeah.
Um,
We also talked about this one a bit earlier, but BPM, um,
Yeah.
I think
The
their
BPM
overall
turnaround was
performance,
probably my most surprising thing of the season.
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh, I wasn't surprised once
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 Fratty Natty
Friday Natty
Daddy
Daddy
was
got in
there,
there.
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
over.
He was the missing piece.
But what's funny is it's not just Braddy that like showed up and hard
Hmm.
carried games. The team as a whole just looks
Better.
better.
Like, yeah, they definitely are stepping up and performing as a whole, not just
I
individually.
also we haven't talked much about him. Like he's popped up here and there, but Healy Skater, I think this season looks really good. I think in previous seasons, he's always been there as a solid player, like dependable AD carry. But I think in particular, the season 4 has looked very strong. Like the kind of player where you're like, we gotta really watch out for this guy because he's gonna carry a team. And again, I think we've seen it this back half of the split.
Hmm. Yeah, he's a beast. He's also a colossal idiot, but like
True,
really
true.
beast.
Yeah, super bald.
Oh, that too.
The most bald player.
Got a really
um,
good picture at the Animal Kingdom with the anal picture that you can take where your head's blocking
The
the
eye.
other
I,
letters in
I
animal.
am, yeah.
So this is yeah, that's a
Ryan's
good
bald
In
ass.
case in
that's
case you're
a
wondering,
good picture.
we still have a Slapnut Magoo's Discord chat that we
Yeah, I'll say the
use
Slapnut
daily.
Magoos live on.
Daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, who for anyone here watching who's new to the league, get a group chat with your team and keep that shit up because it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, other surprises. I'll throw this out there. I think not so much to me, but I think Sharima's Ascended is a bit of a surprise team. I think on paper, a lot of people would not have considered our team to be a top 4 team at the start of the season. Um, and I think,
3 plats, a gold and a silver. It's a pretty high floor team.
well, you have to remember when at the time of draft, we were all sitting in gold or silver,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
and
Yep.
some of us
Mm.
dipping our toes into bronze. Um,
Whoops.
I won't name any names.
Steve, I'll do
It
it.
was John.
Um, so, and I mean, part of that just coming from me. I looked at this team was like, this is going to be a super fun team to play with, and I think we will do well. Um, but it wasn't until we started playing some games together that I was like, oh, like I think we got a good team here. So it was a bit of a surprise to me, and I think a lot of that had to do with John being the question mark, and then showing up and being like, okay, he's a perfect fit for the team.
Sure. Um, SIH performing really well. They had a couple of coin flips like mid-season that led them to, only losing 1 game. Uh, Voidwalkers, really strong team. Think that's to be expected. Again, they had some close games. They had some not close games. Um,
I thought Noxious Warlords were going to be a little higher in the standings, to be honest. I was surprised, I was just surprised that um they've ended up, what is their score now?
they're currently 3-7.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they looked pretty good, like maybe even top middle of the pack um going into or coming out of draft. So that was a surprise for me.
Sure. I guess the same argument could be made for the aspects of Targon. Belf obviously undefeated last season.
Mhm.
Um, just 3-7 right now, sitting the same with the Demacian Justice Jars, all 3-7. Bandle City Rockets not very far above them with another Diamond player, 3-6 right now. They have 2 games to go instead of one, but all three teams having super high elo captains, really knowledgeable about the game, super into, training their team up for the league. Just didn't work out early on.
Yep.
Our middle of the pack teams, we've got IBD, we've got Bilgewater Powder Monkeys, we've got Zon Underground, 5-5, 4-4, and 4-5, uh, respectively. All three of those teams, sort of where we expected most of the teams to try and balance around. I sort of expected Zon to be a little bit higher up because of, Rithma and Goober both being really hard carries, especially mid to late game. They still have two more games to go, so we'll see. But Zon's not guaranteed a playoff spot yet, and some of those other teams are.
Yeah, I will say I do like how much more balanced the teams this season feel compared to other teams or compared to other seasons.
Mhm.
We've had some seasons that were not close at all. We had games. We had the first 2 seasons. There were a lot of FFs, man. There were some bullshit games. Especially season 1 was like many, many, many games. I remember playing on Team Rocket where we all felt sick to our stomach. And I remember Jill was like, should we stop killing them? And we're like, we can't go. That's not nice either.
We gotta end the
And
game.
and we were having teams going undefeated left and right. And it was just, I think there were a lot more people coming out of games in those first 3 seasons just feeling like shit. Like it sucks to lose, but especially some of those games were like, oh, they were bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
it's-
we have no teams lossless and no teams winless this season.
That's
Yep.
good.
We got
Yep.
there.
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
as all things
And
should
some
be.
of the losses are really strange. Shadow Isles Horsemen lost to Bandle City Rockets. The Voidwalkers lost to the Noxus Warlords.
Mhm.
Like, those are not teams that, based on the standings, you would have expected.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like,
we got some pretty good upsets in there.
yeah. And you know what?
And the thing was, in the Noxus Warlords game against us, they played a good game. Like they deserved to win that game.
Hmm.
So I mean, yeah, I think all of the teams can perform.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a far closer season overall, despite where the standings are at. Like, every team has a shot against the other teams, and it feels like that going in.
Did we lose Twin?
He definitely stepped away.
Interesting.
But
Maybe he had to
so
pee or
let's
Rand woke up.
I mentioned this at the beginning. I'll mention it again now that we're towards the end. We've been going for, a little bit over 2 hours here. So we are running a special event so that you guys in the league and or spectators can build a team and take on the committee members and or Discord mods of the Pentakill League. Put together a 5-man team. We're going to play next Friday night. We're going to play a few games where the committee and or Discord mods are going to play the band, the Pentakill, and you guys can pick whatever champions you want. We won't ban you guys. You just bring in a team, play us. We'll play, somewhere between 1 and 5 games that night. And team that beats us the quickest will get a little nice mystery skin reward for doing that. if you guys
That's
beat us.
cool. I didn't know that was happening. That's fun.
Yeah. I'll make an official announcement for that tomorrow in text so that everybody gets a fair shot. But anybody that's in our little Twitch thing here, I want to get first shot at it.
Yeah, when you do that, could you is there I mean, I know there's a lot of channels over there, but could we possibly have a centralized calendar of some sort?
Get this guy off the desk.
I broke
back in the
immediately.
cage.
Get him off the desk.
I could not keep a straight face, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Might I
shit.
suggest the
Steve.
centralized calendar?
Oh my god. Every time that somebody mentions that fucking calendar, it makes me want to die just that much. I'm there.
Yeah, well.
It's all right. I made it. There's a calendar. There's a list of dates. There's so many different ways to find out when people are playing the games.
I think it would be, I don't know what all-star games or other kind of exhibition games we have going on, but it would be fun to have a game where nobody picked their own champ. Everybody else picked the champ that they thought that identified most with that person. So everybody played the champ they were in the mind of the rest of the league.
Huh.
That could be fun.
That could get real hurtful real fast.
Well, who would be offended by like a champion though? Like, I don't think anyone would be like, "You thought I was Yumi? Really?" You know, like, and I don't think "don't troll" would be the good faith rule.
If you put me on Gragas, it would hurt my feelings.
That's not what I mean.
Seen you play Gragas.
I don't mean like you as a human being if
Yes.
you were a league champion, because
No,
all
it's
league
like-
champions are like
Steve-
super hyper athletic, crazy
like-
badasses.
Oh,
Like, for example, Steve, for you, likely people would either
I would think of
vote
Rakan immediately.
Rakan,
I would vote Rakan.
or maybe
okay.
like
I was
Maybe
thinking
Leona.
or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking of different like.
Oh, that's a funnier one, Steve. But we're not doing that. That also, I don't know
So
what
funny.
I look
80% of
almost
the league
exactly.
looks like.
I look
so.
almost exactly like a Felios, and I don't want to play a Felios.
You're
I'll
a
grow my hair
fellow.
out and I'll dash it over my
No,
face.
no. You're Viego, man.
Oh, all right. You know, I'll take it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh no. Ivern. That's another one I could
Yo,
fit in.
dude, wait. Cedric as Ivern, dude. Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll
come back to it. We'll run those in games, like just in between seasons. We'll just run those
Cool.
games.
We should
as an
wrap
event.
this up. It's fucking 2 hours long. No
Yeah.
one's gonna watch a 2-hour thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is super
close
fun.
it. Close it. I'm
Super
not the
fun,
guy.
guys. This was Pentakill Season 4 and the season announcements. We had fun. You guys had fun.
This was an
hopefully.
announcements
Yep.
stream.
You sure? We did our best. You did your best. All Stars next week Thursday. Take on the Pentakill League next week Friday. End of the season, normal season next week Sunday. Good luck, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everyone.